Welcome to Tech London, a show featuring interviews with London's top creative entrepreneurs, startups, investors, design agencies, internet marketers, and freelancers that make up the Tech London online community, which mostly lives on the Slack instant messaging platform. We rotate through both hosts and guests for these interviews, so you have the chance to hear from multiple perspectives on London's tech scene. Here we go. So welcome back to the Tech London podcast. I'm very happy to be talking with Mohammed Shah. Mohammed, thanks for coming on the podcast to talk shop.
Thank you for having me, John.
Excellent. So Mohammed, you're a full stack developer, and you've been an early member of the Tech London community. So it's great to have some of the old school members come on. You're a full stack developer with a particular interest in WhatsApp, which is quite interesting. So I don't think I come across too many WhatsApp developers these days. But yeah, I'd love to just ask you about what led you to, getting started with WhatsApp development, and tell us more about the automation you're working on as well.
Yeah, well, I kind of started super randomly, actually. A friend of mine was doing the Antler program. It's like a YC for Europe, and he was on there, and then he wanted to bring me on. Basically, the problem he's trying to solve is reducing the risk of early onset prediabetes in the South Asian community. So when we were developing for that, I had the idea of, people don't like to install apps nowadays. As a full stack developer, I know this very well. People don't want to install or keep or download apps. So let's just go to them, and all the aunties and uncles, they're the highest risk. So where are they? They're all sitting on WhatsApp. It's something that they'll never delete. So the idea was basically to make a calorie tracking plus health advice bot on WhatsApp. We tried to go through their official means, and it required a lot of jumping through hoops and documentation that obviously as a startup within an accelerator program we didn't have. And of course it was time sensitive. So I basically used this existing library by a Mexican guy called Daniel. It was no longer being maintained, so I had to fork it and update quite a lot of things. And then unfortunately we didn't get through in that program. The investors didn't see the use for it, so then I kept on maintaining it due to demand from the community, and fast forward a year, now it's one of the biggest WhatsApp automation libraries out there right now.
Amazing. So just to give us an idea of scale, how large is the user base for this library?
Well, I mean, it's not like huge numbers like the biggest node libraries out there. However, I think we just hit 13,000 downloads per month this month, which is not bad for a library that just started picking up steam at the start of the pandemic. Actually, it started growing a lot during the pandemic when people were thinking of making bots to help their community track and trace, to help make coronavirus update bots and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, when I was messaging you the other day, I noticed that these these audio tracks kept coming back and they were playing songs. I was like, what is this sorcery? What is this magic that's happening here? It's like things like that I didn't know were possible at all with WhatsApp. So it's quite...
Yeah, you caught me while I was testing. I kind of left the program running, unfortunately.
Fantastic. And what about the kinds of use cases that you're seeing? What are some of the really interesting ones that you've come across so far?
Yeah, so there's quite a lot of use cases for WhatsApp. I mean, if you think about it, in China they have WeChat, right? And obviously everyone who has ever used WeChat say they use it for everything, right? And it's similar with WhatsApp. WhatsApp is like the number one app in the whole world, except in America. WhatsApp is your communication infrastructure, you know.
Yeah.
So and it's weird because it's it's on every single device. However, people use it only to text, uh, but also at the same time it has so much opportunity that people use this specific library, you know, even though it's kind of like a workaround until official means. They use this library for so many different things. Quite mundane uses are having bots that turn videos or images into stickers. People in East Asia love stickers. I mean, I've never
Yeah.
used them, but they love stickers there. I had a guy from Switzerland the other day contact me about his WhatsApp bot, which is basically helping to do track and trace in Switzerland. As I mentioned previously, in the start of the coronavirus pandemic, they made bots to do the coronavirus updates. In Nigeria, we're going to set up a bot to spread more awareness about police brutality there, and in Brazil, people are using bots to help uh, uh, sell Airbnb type property
Hmm.
into the rental market, and they're also using it to counteract far right propaganda on WhatsApp by spreading awareness about more center right, center left politicians as well.
Yeah.
So many use cases, and there'll be so much more when more features come to WhatsApp.
Interesting. Yeah. And one of the things around WhatsApp that concerns a lot of people is privacy. Like, can you tell us what your views are on the way that WhatsApp handles privacy, and what kinds of things should people be aware when they're using it?
I'd say that with WhatsApp, uh, privacy is very easy to give away.
Yeah.
You know, um, if you think about it, a lot of attack vectors happen on the browser context, and since WhatsApp Web mainly runs in the browser, especially if you're not running the desktop client, if you provide access to WhatsApp Web on the browser, then it's basically open game for any hacker. You know, so I would always say that you make sure that you know exactly where you're scanning your WhatsApp web sessions into. Make sure those places are secure, and make sure to keep checking your WhatsApp web sessions in the app, so then there's no sessions that are authenticated um,
That
that
weren't.
you don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like you say, people use it for like so much. I guess it's probably used more than normal text messaging these days.
definitely. Um,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, to provide support to the community, um, we have like a Discord channel, and people were having a discussion about how it's kind of like not right that it's in the hands of one company. Like, this is like the communication infrastructure of billions of people all around the world, which
Yeah.
has greatly surpassed SMS. SMS is like an international standard, and where people, it's not owned by one company, but WhatsApp is for some reason. And they were saying that maybe a solution is for it to be under the control of the UN or something like that, where like even down the line, when WhatsApp does release these e-commerce and other services, it will definitely be an antitrust issue for Facebook itself, and they're gonna have to deal with it. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if you just look at the founders of WhatsApp, what they sold to Facebook for what is a measly, what was it, $15 billion. or thereabouts, and then they went on to make the Signal Foundation. So this is going to have to be dealt with eventually.
Yeah. I'm curious, actually. You mentioned Discord channel for support for or dialogue with the user base. Why didn't you choose a WhatsApp?
Oh, because I don't want my phone blowing up every 5 seconds when, because some people they're new to coding and stuff. They have a lot of questions. So with Discord, I can kind of step away from the conversation and not have to miss many things. But also in the Discord itself, there are different channels for different repositories. So even though I'm kind of like the founder of OpenWA, I maintain the Node.js library, whereas there are other maintainers for the Python library, for the decryption library, and for the WhatsApp button library as well. So yes, I mean, even though I brought all of these projects together under one roof, it's not just me, and I also don't want to be talking to everybody all the time.
Yeah. I know my wife works in HR, and she manages HR for a small restaurant group, and they run all their operations, all their communication with all the staff is all done through WhatsApp, and they've got multiple groups, so it's it's there. Without that, it would make things so much more difficult for communication for their team.
Exactly.
Especially for people are just looking for very basic, not super advanced tech. Like WhatsApp is the go-to tool to keep everybody informed.
It's one app that 99% of people who have it, they'll never delete. And and the good thing about building a service on WhatsApp is exactly that. Like you will possibly never have any churn. Where as long as you keep them engaged in your service, they'll keep coming back. Although I started it with the health bot, is called My New Life. There's so many different use cases. I built a bot where some people are super obnoxious in the group chat. They just send voice notes. I really hate that. So then I made a bot which basically picks up those voice notes, transcribes them, and then puts the actual text in the chat. I made another one where you can set. I made this super quick one called whatsup.london. And basically imagine it's like a Snapchat channel, where you can send it stuff, and then it can, because WhatsApp now has stories. Again, it's a feature that I don't really use, but apparently people use it in South America and in Africa a lot. So that's actually so what happened. Yeah, exactly. So instead of one person sharing their own stories, this was this specific bot, what it will do is you can send it videos and text and pictures relating to a subject or whatever, and then in the chat I can write #approved to the message to the media, and then it gets sent to the story automatically. So this feature, this specific bot, the code is going to be reused in Nigeria for the SARS campaign. Where a lot of people from all over the country will be sending videos of protests or whatever, and then it will go to one central WhatsApp story. And another thing which makes WhatsApp so prevalent in many countries is that it's free in terms of data usage. Like in the Middle East, in India, you don't. WhatsApp is not counted in your data costs.
Oh yeah, I think traveling around. Yeah, that seems to ring a bell. I think it was when I was traveling around Southeast Asia, and some countries, WhatsApp wouldn't count towards your data usage or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
So interestingly, we're going full circle, and there is actually another. I think it was a lady. She was making a bot. It was basically Napster on WhatsApp. So you literally tell it the song that you want, and then it sends it to you as a voice note.
Amazing.
Because you don't have that bandwidth cost at all.
Wow.
Even for service providers, you don't have that bandwidth cost really.
Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. Awesome. So Mo, this has been a really good chat. I'd love for you to just let people know where they can go to find out more. You shared like a GitHub link with us, but is there anywhere? Obviously, you're in the Slack group as well. But is there anywhere people can go to find out more information? I'm guessing probably Googling the WhatsApp library would also work as well.
Yeah, the WhatsApp library, you can find that by searching open-WA. The main home for that is on GitHub. But you can find me on Twitter at Smashah, SMASHAH, where you can find me, tweeting out silly jokes. But yeah, or you can contact me on Slack at Smash.
Excellent. Thanks, Mo.
Thanks.
You've been listening to the Tech London show. If you're interested in joining the community or even making an appearance on this show, make sure you join our Slack group over at techlondon.io. Till next time.